Good morning. Hello, hello. Hey. So, just uh, just wanted to share. I was yesterday. It's for me. It's beautiful that I get to spend time with men in because I work part time in a treatment center, and in the treatment center, its philosophy is based on helping men to do the 12 steps in the 12 step program. So AA or NA or to help them first of all to see themselves and their behaviors so that they can become aware of how their behaviors have been defeating them, and so you know it would seem obvious, but they arrive there, and often they're pretty beat up. They're like, oh my gosh, ready to do anything, and so part of the early process is to see what their behaviors have been and what they've been doing, and to give them some tips on how to deal with their triggers and their behaviors in the beginning, so that they can at least maintain, if that's what they want. And sometimes people in the 12-step world, in the treatment center or other places, kind of get a certain amount of awareness of themselves and imagine that that's going to be enough. But they haven't dealt with the devil of their mind entirely. And so, but what seems to be the truth, what is the truth actually, is that no amount for the alcoholic or the addict, no amount of psychological therapy can bring us out of the power of the mind. Now I'm talking about the mind. Now the mind's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. The mind is a beautiful thing. It's a super splendid tool, but it's been programmed, and so we're just running out the programming, and the programming often defeats us, and so what we're looking for is real freedom, right? We're looking for real freedom. We're looking for, how do I become free of the program and still am able to be here, on the planet, be here in this life, and so that is available. That's available through the 12 steps. It's available through lots of teachings. There are many roads to that. There are many roads to that. There are many teachers that help us to see that. I've been spending a lot of time listening to Muji, who's amazing at helping his students, his followers, to see themselves and become aware that what to let go of to come into their natural state. So he's been amazing at that. And over my life, I've been very privileged to be with lots of amazing teachers, including in the 12-step world. And so often, though, in the early days of awakening, we're like, oh my gosh, I've been a fool. I've been a fool in so many ways, and what do I do? How do I get this changed? And I've got to go back to work. I've got to get my money thing in order. And all those things come up, and none of that will keep us from going back if we're dealing with addiction or alcoholism. None of that will keep us sober, as we say. What is essential is this connection with our higher self. So how do we find it? My experience is that nothing can be more important than that, because what I'm doing, if I'm not connected to my higher self. Some folks say the connection is through our heart, and in a way that's true, because we equate the heart with love, and that connection we want to have is that connection of love. So in a way, it's true through the heart. It's true, and becoming conscious, moment to moment, of the things that separate us from the moment is the path. Consciousness is the path, and so we need to be quiet and watch when ego says, "Oh no, we have to go this way. We need to get money. We have to get, we have to be in a relationship. We have to all of those things we try. Ego says are more important than this is why we want to have a relationship with a higher power. So why don't we just do it?" And because often, we imagine that we want to awaken so that, and the so that has to be gone. We're not coming to know the power of our higher power or God or universal intelligence or, we're not coming to experience that so that we can have something. That's an old way of thinking. We experience that, and then we see where we become in the flow of life, and then we see where life wants to take us, where life directs us, and we begin to listen to the voice. And so that's the possibility for everyone, for absolutely everyone. And often we have to let go of our concepts and beliefs from the past. Often we have to let go of even of our religious beliefs sometimes, that hold us in a small place, and recognize that we are one with that. I love to share this. Bill Wilson said in We Agnostics, in the big book, that God either is or he isn't. Either he's everything or he's nothing. What is your choice to be? Wow. So that means there's no separation. Everything is everything. Big word. Everything is everything. So recognize that, your journey, your yearning, that feeling that something's missing is that connection, that oneness. You already know it. It's my experience, again, I don't want to call it a belief, it's just been my experience that people who aren't interested in this spiritual experience, this knowing, having the experience of knowing God, don't listen to messages like this. They don't find their way to this 12 steps. The 12 steps are a real path to awakening. This is not just a band-aid. This is the path. A path, but it's the path to awakening. Many teachers have the path, but this is, so don't imagine that this is, just to patch you up so you can get back in the game, although that will happen. But you'll get back in the game with a new foundation, a new, awakening, a new foundation. I love that. And a new knowing. And love will be there in each moment. And fear runs away. Fear runs away. And stick with it, no matter how long it seems to take. And then you're not working for a paycheck. You're working to be of service. You're working to share your love. No matter where you work, you're there to be of service. And if where you work doesn't fit anymore, you'll work somewhere else if you want to work. Right? So just know that the flow will happen. The flow does happen. And stick close to those that are already in the flow, that are already awakened, and watch ego as it judges people, because it has a tendency to do that. And just recognize that everybody's on their path, everybody's doing and moving towards this one. Always. We're always moving towards this one. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's always us moving towards the one. The date, October 12th. So that's it. Many paths to the one. Many paths to the one. I'm going to actually do an interview call today with a lady who's on, uses the Tantra path to the one. And I'm excited to talk to her in about an hour or less. So maybe you'll stick around for that. Okay, October 12th. I read from this little book every day, and I really enjoy, many of the pieces in this book are quite inspired. It's called the 24-Hour Day Book, and okay, it was written in 1954, so the language is sometimes like a little interesting. It says, "Am I still on a free ride in AA or in the 12-step world?" Hey, you guys, nice to see you all. And it says, "Am I still on a free ride in the 12-step world in AA? Am I all get, no give? Do I go to meetings and always sit in the back row, let the others do all the work? Do I think it's enough just because I'm sober and can rest in my laurels? If so, I haven't gone very far in the program, nor am I getting nearly enough of what it has to offer. I will be a weak sister until I get in there and help carry the load. I must eventually get off the bench and get into the game. I'm not just a spectator. I'm supposed to be one of the team. Do I go in there and carry the ball?" Nice analogy. Now, reading from the 24-Hour Day Book, kind of get a chance to do this every day. And all of these things help us to grow in our awareness, grow in our our awareness, our consciousness, so that we can let go of, Dr. David Hawkins talked about just letting go brings us into our natural state. Just letting go, seeing where we get rigid, where we hold on to, where fear makes us tight. We get, "Oh, I want it my way." and so, being in the company of those that have made this a priority help us to grow in awareness through consciousness. Okay, meditation for the day. Try to be thankful for whatever vision you have. Try to perform. He uses try quite a bit. It was before Star Wars, so we didn't know that we don't try or not try. We only be or do. Pre-Star Wars. The prophecy of Yoda. Okay, let's take out try. Just say, be thankful for whatever vision you have. Perform in the little things. Faithful service to God and to man. Do your small part every day in a spirit of service to God. Be a doer of God's word, not a bearer only. In our daily life, keep faith with God. Every day brings a new opportunity to be of some use, even when you're tempted to rest or to let things go or to evade the issue. Make it a habit to meet the issue squarely as a challenge and not to be held back and not to hold back. There we go. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may perform each task faithfully. I pray that I may meet each issue of life squarely and not hold back. Be here now. Yes. Okay. So that's beautiful stuff. So the message really, ultimately, is that, we connect. We have what in the big book we call a conscious contact. A conscious contact with our higher power. We develop a God consciousness. We be God-centered instead of self-centered. The whole thing is pushing us, guiding us, easing us into this state. All the pieces of the recipe are there perfectly to awaken, then to truly be the dad you want to be, or the mom you want to be, or the husband, because You're coming from a place of love. There's no getting. There's no to get. There's only to give. Okay. Love you guys. And you're doing good. You really are. It's happening. It's happening. Just continue to give thanks. Okay, you guys. Love you, love you, love you.